know what's crazy, Niki? I was still late. I was like 5 seconds late.
It's just a miracle that you pressed the big red button.
It is a miracle that I did press the big red button. We are starting the podcast in earnest now. Hi, I'm one of your hosts. This is VGBees podcast, episode 38. I hope that's right. Did not look it up ahead of time. I think that's right, though. I'm one of your hosts, John Warren. With me is my forever co-host, Niki Grayson. Hi, Niki.
Hey.
Niki's deep in thought, reading something. I wonder what
temporary
Niki's
directory
reading.
cannot be set. Directory /volume/D drive /audio /audacity /session data does not exist. Create it? Yes.
Oh, so you were just on another podcast.
Changes
and it looks like
to temporary directory will not take effect until Audacity is restarted.
Okay, so it looks like you need to restart Audacity to send
Close
Jan your
Audacity.
files.
Well, I already did that. So what I was trying to do, I'm on a computer that now has...
It's been actually too long, and I'm going to cut you off and say we have a third person this week, and it's Merritt K. Hi, Merritt.
Hey, what's up? It's the inventor of Nintendo tapes. I'm here to give you the straight dope on all the hottest titles from Kirby's Adventure to Lolo's Quest. The name of that one might not be final yet. I think, what was that? Lolo's Bizarre Adventure?
Lolo's Bizarre Adventure, yeah.
Lolo Land? John, what was that game called?
I don't fucking remember.
Lolo.
Adventure. It's Lolo. Lolo.
Is it Adventures of Lolo? Adventures of Lolo.
Adventures of
That's
Lolo.
It. That's what it is. Yeah.
Adventures
So
of
if you
Lolo.
need to know how to beat the wizard on level 3 of that game, I've got you.
But what
So
about the
don't worry.
wizard on level 4? You got that one? or?
Well, that's going to cost you. All right.
That's going to cost.
You're going to have to call in the Nintendo tip line for that.
God, they made so many good games. Hal did.
They sure did.
Well, it's a laboratory.
It is.
Hal,
They were cooking
it is a
them up.
laboratory.
I have a real shoot question.
Oh, a shoot question. Okay.
And I do not, and I'm gonna answer it the way I think it happened, and then you have to tell me if I'm super off base. When you called the Nintendo tip line in 1906,
Right.
you made the phone call and you said, "Hey, I'm stuck on level 2 of Mario."
Mhm.
Which, by the way, when you called them and said, "Hey, I'm stuck on level 2 of Mario," did they say, "Okay, jump better"? Like, what the
Be
fuck?
better at Mario.
Like,
yeah.
be better at Mario. Okay, so you called. How did they charge you? Did they just bill you for time, like reverse collect, and then it came up on your phone bill?
It shows up on your phone bill.
It shows up on
It's a
your phone
900
bill.
number. You call a 900
It's a
number.
900 number.
And
and
you're
they take
giving
your
them
money.
them permission to basically bill based on what
How much was it?
Oh, I'm gonna guess
don't know.
99 cents a minute.
It was probably
Nintendo
like 5
help.
for the first minute, and then usually it was like a flat fee for the first little bit, and then more per.
So was there like a meta?
It was
where you were like-
$1.50 a minute. In Canada, it was $2 a minute.
Holy
That's
shit.
crazy.
Yeah.
So there was probably a meta where you'd be like, "I'm still level 2. Sorry."
We had a baby eats a point. Yeah.
Yeah, and then someone was sitting there with like a binder, and there's like videos of this of like people answering calls from the
Yeah.
line.
Rules. Yeah.
And it's great, yeah, because they're just like, all right, so to get the sword in Zelda, you're gonna want to,
Uh-huh.
and it's just like explaining all this bullshit that like there were no, like people don't appreciate this, right? Like I'm 60 or 70 years old, and like people who are younger than me don't understand this, but like you couldn't look stuff up. I mean, this is before my time too.
Yeah.
Like, although even like in the Super Nintendo era, you couldn't really look stuff up. Like it was like, oh, do
Not
you have
really.
Nintendo Power at the library? No, fuck you.
Yeah, get
Like
fun.
I never
Yeah.
called because that would be an insane decision, and I don't know who
Yeah.
did call. Like I think it was mostly, it must have
Rich
been like
kids.
teens or like college. Like
Mhm.
who's fucking calling the Nintendo tip? Like I don't know. Anyway,
I don't
sorry.
know.
I imagine the demographic was like, seriously, it was like mostly like stoned kids in their dorm rooms that were
Right.
like, oh, fuck, I can't beat the swim. I can't beat the water level of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh.
I've
you
talked about how I am when I was a child. I got just very distracted. When I was a child, I called 411 for fun.
Okay, and what did
Have I
you
not
ask?
have I not talked
No,
about this?
I don't think I've
My
heard that
most
story.
vivid, which was, hey, you know who loved that? AT&T. You know who didn't love that? My
Your
mom.
mom.
What is 411 again?
411 is just information.
Yeah.
And in my
Oh.
brain, when someone was like, what it is for in the past was you called them and they looked through the phone book. And then
Yeah.
they were like,
Right.
I need to call the hospital and I don't know the number of the hospital. Here is the name of the hospital. They give you the name, the phone number. They connect you. But I heard information and I said, well, that means that they'll answer
any question.
Anything, any question.
Yeah.
So I called a lot asking just really trivial shit. I was on the phone with one woman for a really long time on a 3-way call. It was me, my childhood best friend Noah, and then this like employee of the 411. And I was really determined to get to the bottom of what the largest McDonald's in the country was by square footage. And I wanted to call them and talk to them about it so bad. And she kept me on the phone for a really long time, which is probably what I don't know why what her fucking deal was. But we didn't figure it out. Now, was I alive when Google was extant?
Yeah,
yes.
You were.
Deeply.
Yeah, that was kind of my next question of like, this sounds like something a child in Stranger Things would have done.
I think I just wanted somebody to talk to.
Well, God. Damn.
Oh, man.
A little real. Wow.
Oh, man. Oh,
anyway.
No. That's pretty good. Do you remember how much it was that you were on the phone?
Lot.
A lot?
Yeah.
You used to be able to call the library to ask them questions.
Oh,
That's a thing you used to do.
Fuck.
Apparently,
they should have let me know.
This was before my time. But I've heard from older people who are like, yeah, you'd call the library to look at, or there was like the number you would call to ask what time it was.
Yeah,
like that's the service
library
that is completely.
Can you spell Queequeg for me? I have a bet to settle.
I do remember calling the time phone number. I listened to that a lot also.
Oh, I've called for the time. Yeah.
Do you think that the time phone number still works?
Now I'm thinking about growing up. What scenario? Maybe, but what scenario did I, as a child, need to know so desperately what time it was that
power out, reset clock?
I did, but I wasn't responsible for resetting the clocks in my house.
Oh, I was in my own room.
Oh, okay.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to see if the time phone number still works.
Yeah, it's time.
It does. Hold on.
Time.is should have the number for time.
God, not to get off track. I mean, I know we're supposed to talk about Nintendo tapes, but how long do you think we've got before?
Oh, it hung up immediately.
Like, it's crazy a little bit that we live in a world where you still have to manually reset any clock for daylight savings. Like, how long do you think it's going to be before that is not the case anymore? Where like a clock just has a computer connected to the internet, or just like a computer in it that knows, oh, today I got to switch.
I feel like that's still expensive. To have I think it turns to have a Wi-Fi chip in the clock.
I guess so.
I'm not saying I want this. I'm not saying I want my clock to do Wi-Fi.
I think the margin on clock is so crazy because it's a fucking clock. Right. We've been making them for a really long time. That adding a Wi-Fi chip would make the clock cost, instead of $15, $20. And I think people would be like, well, why would I do that?
That's enough of a gap.
I'll just buy the regular clock and I'll change it like I always have.
Okay, not to make this, I promise we'll talk about Nintendo tapes in a second. Not to make this into if you're driving. But Niki, I have a question. How do you think analog watches work?
There's a guy inside.
Yeah.
Good start.
Who turns a little wheel. And then that's all he does. He's perfect. So he comes out of a factory. So the original guy in the first watch fell into a metronome factory.
The first watch.
And all of his kids, they're all related to that first guy.
Okay, so that's like a mechanical clock kind of thing. So when a clock or a watch says, oh, this is a quartz watch, what does that mean?
That's how he's powered.
He's powered.
He eats the rocks.
He eats the rocks.
Because the answer is like crazier, is like as crazy as that, which is like, oh, it turns out this one rock resonates with a certain frequency. And so we can just use that to measure seconds.
Wait, it's just rocks in there?
Basically, yeah.
What?
Just twist off the front of your watch. Just rocks. Just dump them out. Just loose rocks. Yeah. Just loose rocks. That's all it is.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's weird.
We don't know how to make anything anymore.
No, we don't know how
we simply don't. For a while, they were like, fuck, dude, we really got to know what time it is. So they said, I think the rocks can do it.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
We got rocks to tell us what time it is.
Yep. I mean, computer is just rock that tells
computer is rock that tells time different, but it's like, it's not as cool somehow. I don't know how to explain that or square that circle, but it just simply is not as cool.
It's not as cool. It's not as tactile. There's something kind of sad about it.
You should have to
We've
plug
lost
stuff
it.
in and out of the computer all the time, like a woman at a switchboard. In the past.
just like
yeah, that's how
Uh-huh.
computers should be operated.
God, those switchboard operators. I don't
Strong,
know how they did that.
powerful.
Strong, powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our nation's
do it.
backbone for so long.
It was our nation's backbone for a very long time. All right, I can talk about video games.
Fine.
So Marvel
news.
Rivals. Yeah, no,
Oh.
it's really slow week. I was kind of hoping we would have like kind of a slow week. We didn't have a slow week. It was kind of a big one. Marvel Rivals did announce layoffs of US and UK teams responsible for essentially the level design and construction of the game Marvel Rivals. The game's director and all the level designers, things like that, took to LinkedIn earlier this week to say, hey, we're looking for jobs because we just all got laid off. A lot of people flocked immediately to social media to be like, but this game's doing so well. And it's like, that's clearly not why they did
not
this.
related at all.
In fact, they got back to me with a statement, which is very cool. I felt like a real journalist.
Wow, real
which
news.
is amazing.
Wow,
Yeah.
yeah.
What
Now,
they say,
was it
John?
Now, was it the exact same thing that they said to Stephen Totillo? Yes, it was.
That's
But
fine.
I also
It's
got
a
it
statement
delivered
nonetheless.
to me.
Yeah.
They said we recently made the difficult decision to adjust Marvel Rifles development team structure for organizational reasons and to optimize development efficiency for the game. This resulted in a reduction of the design team based in Seattle that is part of the larger global design function in support of Marvel Rivals. We appreciate the hard work and dedication of those affected and will be treating them confidentially and respectfully with recognition for their individual contributions. That's one of the weirdest ways.
What
to
does
That's
say
that
the
that,
mean?
by the way.
wildest way to say we're legally paying them out the way we have to.
Really
Yeah.
strange. We want to reassure our fan base that the core development team for Marvel Rivals, which continues to be led by lead producer Wei Kong Wu and game creative director Guangyong Chen in Guangzhou, China, remains fully committed to delivering an exceptional experience. We are investing more, not less. Also crazy to admit, into the evolution and growth of this game. We're excited to deliver new superhero characters, maps, features, and content to ensure an engaging live service experience for our worldwide player base. Okay.
So here's what happened.
Yeah.
They said, we only know how to make bad mobile game.
We only know how to do that.
So we got to get some guys who know how to make real video game.
Yes.
But it is still going to have to kind of feel like bad mobile game. Very critically, it's still going to have to feel like that.
Which it
So then
kind of does.
they got them to do it. And then they said, great, we can take it from here. Because now all we have to do is continue to the bad mobile game stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we're good at that.
Well, and also the Seattle team had clearly already made, the future, like a few future levels.
They,
and
like
a few future character builds and all that
this
stuff.
game, you will not feel like people who play this game regularly will not feel the ramifications of this until 2026.
Yeah, that's correct.
By which time they probably will not be playing this game anymore.
That's correct. Yeah.
So it raises the question, why even say anything about it? Why do it?
Why
Because
do it?
people
Why?
are already going to drop off
Yeah, I know.
next year anyway.
Well, because
Now
they
you
want to
just,
they want to make the profit now.
oh
They
yeah,
were like,
I'm sure.
We got to maximize our year before you notice, and then you drop off.
Crazy.
I mean, this is wild. I mean, Daniel Ahmad, who is Shuga EX on Twitter, the big smart Asian games
Asian
writer
market,
for Asian market guy. He's basically saying like NetEase started pulling out of stuff like last year.
Yes.
They're terrified of doing business here in the US now, which
Why?
mood. Why would they do that?
Why?
Would they be
Why?
scared
Hey,
of that?
wait,
What?
you tell
Give
me.
one fucking reason.
No, you tell
What
me what I
fucking
did,
reason?
okay?
I didn't do shit. And it's like, they're gonna be able to do this with a smaller team that they can pay less, that they can have internal control over, and that's really the reason that they're doing this. They've started pulling out of other game studios in Japan and in Europe already. So it has less to do with the like success or failure of this game and more to do with just like corporate bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Merritt, did you play Marvel Rivals at all?
No, I didn't. I don't really play team shooters or video games.
I don't blame you.
That's so fair,
No,
Barrett.
That's
but
so fair.
No, I mean, I don't know. I was talking to someone about Rivals the other day, though, and he was saying, like, you know, it's cool, like it's a fun game, but there's this sense of stability not being there, which is like something that I haven't seen anyone talk about.
Yeah,
but I don't know, like I feel like there's just so many examples in the last like 2 to 5 years of live games showing up. Some of them doing okay.
Well, yeah.
And then shutting down. And like it is not outside of the realm of possibility that next year Rivals could shut down. Like that to me is totally plausible. Yeah. Like they try to milk people too hard on skins, or they, you know, just fuck
which
something
they
up.
already do.
Sure,
like deeply, like they already are charging like $20 a skin.
It's a lot of money.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is
they
like
charge for heroes as well? Or
so all of the heroes are
free and available. Okay.
And like I think that is what their calculus is that like the guys are free, so you just spend money on the skins, but then it's like there's the same Overwatch problem.
Yeah.
There are only so many ways to dress the fucking Mercy before I'm like, okay, like, yeah, it's still Mercy. Now she's wearing a different dress.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now Bastion's wearing a diaper. Cool.
They have like they have like infinite things to draw on for Marvel, which is convenient for them. But it's still like the point is like, I don't know. There are a lot of people. It's like any game like this, right? Where there are always going to be whales who are sinking a ton of money in, and then a lot of people who aren't paying anything. And I wouldn't be surprised if next year, even without this announcement, like I wouldn't have been surprised if it shut down within a year or two. But this seems like NetEase is like, Niki, you were saying before, they were, that was real, right? Where they were like, oh, we didn't actually think they didn't think that Chinese studios could do some of these titles that they were trying to develop
straight up.
And so that's why they were like, you know, working with US and Japanese teams. And now it seems like they are actually more confident that that's the case. I mean, they also shut down Oka, who made Visions of Mana last year, or a little while ago.
Yeah, it was last year, early last year.
And it's like, also, if you're like a Chinese company and you're looking at the value proposition, like, and if you think Chinese devs are getting to the point where they can do the same thing, the salary difference is like,
massive.
It's just, and 3 to 4 times, like,
even if you don't think they are there, if you think they are 70% there, the gap between that 30% of them being there is not like you were saying, it's not commensurate with how little they end up getting or needing to pay these people. So
it's just like really fucking grim. And honestly, when I saw this, like, it's just, been one thing after another for years at this point. And it feels like the North American games industry is kind of collapsing, and certainly the political situation hasn't helped with that.
No.
So it's like, I don't know. It kind of feels like it doesn't make sense to try to make a career out of development if you are American or, British or whatever at this point. Unless you can somehow, like, I don't know. I'm curious if devs are going to be like trying to get jobs in China, which it's like a very tough thing to do. But
it is a tough thing to do, but I do think it's interesting. I mean, Tencent had been doing
who we love,
who we love. God, we love them.
We respect.
Shout out.
Listen, they paid my rent for a while, and I have to like them.
They did pay my rent for a while. They still, for some reason, won't even open up the conversation of buying a bunch of bullshit from them that they'll never ever use, and they've just got flushed down the toilet. I guess. I think we just gotta take it too. That's what I think I'm gonna do. But I think like, they had gone through a period where they were looking to hire more Americans to work at studios here in the US, but eventually move over to China to work on projects. And I think they cooled on that practice, but like that made some amount of sense to me in terms of like, this was always kind of their plan of to infiltrate a lot of companies, still have a vested financial interest in them, but essentially, once you understand them well enough, you take all that knowledge back to your internal teams and start spending a lot less on development.
Yeah.
And then it's like, that's a really, it's like really kind of grim and gross,
Yeah.
but also there's a logic to it from their standpoint.
And then if you on that train, right? Like if you take enough of the minds, if you do a little bit of brain drain, then you institutionalize that knowledge.
Yes.
For yourself.
And they have gotten better at that, I will admit.
Yes.
Like I think they like when we were working at the height, boy, wow. I wish I could blow the lid off. I wish I could blow the lid off of some of the stuff that I was shown ahead of time, because they're all deeply failed bad projects that have come and gone, like with almost no fanfare. Like there have been 6 games that came out in the past like 4 years that I saw in an early state. It was like, this is the next big thing. Our internal studios did this, and like a bunch of us sat there going like, this is gonna flop really fucking bad. And they're like, no way. And we're like, yeah, well, and it did.
Yeah.
But we've started to see more projects come from Chinese studios that have gotten
they're getting
they've like really clearly getting there. And it's it's one of those things that's like, okay, well, this kind of shift is inevitable, but it's nonetheless awful. Merritt, I kind of like you have been certainly on the side of like, hey, everything is collapsing for like about a year and a
Dower?
half.
Yeah.
Like I would, I would have 6 months ago, I would have said Dower, but I'm still on LinkedIn a lot. And there were people that came back from DICE, which is like a really big corpo kind of place where like 90% of what you see typically when people come back from DICE is like, we're so energized, AI is going to build a new game. It's like, and this one, there were a lot of people that were like, yeah, stuff's kind of cooling off. And I'm like, if these people are saying shit is cooling off, the toxic positive weirdos that are at the fringes of this industry trying to comment on it, like if they see that it's cooling off, it is a little scary. Like, not great. It's not good. Anyway.
Well, that's why I'm happy to announce that I've raised $4 million in Series A funding.
Okay. To do
directly from Scopely.
Okay.
And they're gonna let me. They said just go make a video game. So
just go make a video game, and but no restrictions on anything you could do. Did they not say you could just make whatever you want?
They said whatever you want.
Yeah,
but they were like, there was like, okay, so they said the guy who came to my house said, do whatever you want. And then he gave me a
Niki looking for a prop. 1 second.
Contract is this?
Okay, it's a really large stack of okay. Oh, I thought it was a stack of printer paper, but it's
no, it's a the guy dropped off this hardbound.
Got it.
Book of legal stuff in it.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, you're really kind of wrecking the spine of whatever you're holding up there.
This is to break the illusion, this is the textbook from the 2 days of grad school that I went to.
Oh God. Every few episodes, I feel like telling the story of when Niki called me and said, hey, after one day, and said, hey, I think I'm going to quit grad school. And I just I practically begged you to sleep on it and not do anything. I've never talked to you like that in my life, but I was like, you really have to
a tone that you have never
taken with you.
I never used before and have not used since.
Yeah. There's a reason I haven't used it since, because it doesn't fucking matter. So I don't need to ever use it again.
It was the right thing to do, though.
Okay.
And I appreciate the honesty.
Okay. And then you quit the next morning. That's crazy. It's really good. Anyway, Marvel Rivals is dead game. Next story.
Next story.
Hey, it's going the way of what the fuck was that battle royale called that we had to cover for 4 months, where you could ski? And
Ring of Elysium.
Ring of Elysium. That's right. Niki's favorite game.
My favorite fucking
didn't
game.
You had to write about it, right?
I was social and on paper the community manager for that title.
That rules. That's great.
Yeah, I knew a lot about it and I played it a lot for sure.
Yeah. Also, so for those who don't know how the office was structured, there were basically 2 parts of the office. There was the devs and the writers who were kind of back where I was. And then there's the sales team.
Yeah, this is for clarity. When we were working at Fanbyte,
when we were working at
physical
Fanbyte,
office,
in the physical office,
Santa Monica, quote unquote. Yeah,
where were we really?
It's the nowhere between Westwood and Santa Monica.
That's what I never could really
the VA,
identify.
But before Santa Monica is actually nothing. You're just on
nothing.
Wilshire. You're just on Wilshire.
It always seemed like nothing. I don't know LA that well, but it just seemed like nothing. Like
it was genuinely the most nothing part of LA that I really ever saw. It was very strange, but but when Niki was hired essentially to do community management for a lot of the games that they were starting to basically, they wanted to establish like a publishing label, and that didn't really ever take off. But it was like community management, all that stuff. So Niki spent like 6 months sitting next to like the sales team.
Yeah, having a fucking blast over there.
I just can't imagine spending all that time.
I had a great time. Talking to all my friends.
I'm gonna get the best pizza. I'm gonna get the best pizza in LA. It's fucking Domino's.
It's Papa John's.
Papa John's.
Papa John's.
And then the next week we had the homophobic chicken.
Anyway, this is great, exciting gossip from 20 years ago.
Sorry,
everyone.
I apologize.
No,
I just had a great time.
I'm having a great time, but I had
to point out that you used to work next to all the sales people.
Mm-hmm.
It was bad.
Yeah.
But at least some of them still have jobs. So.
Yeah, that's so true. Well.
Anyway.
Two people that were in that office, I think, still have jobs.
Wow.
No,
that's most.
No, it's 4. It's like 4.
4.
Yeah, but that's still not very many. Anyway, Xbox is making their own AI thing. How excited is everyone about this? They're making something called Muse. It has been trained on Ninja Theory's Bleeding Edge. It is designed to build chunks of games and eventually full games with AI. Phil Spencer and others have suggested it's also a way to reinvigorate game preservation and the way that
saying shit.
They're just saying shit.
Just saying shit.
If you've taken a look at what they produced with this, it looks fucking terrible.
Yeah, because Bleeding Edge is fucking terrible. The idea it would be like going into a preschool and being like, we are going to teach all of these children how to read based off of the Zodiac Killer's writing. And this is the best way for us to teach these kids how to use language and relate to the world. Like, of course, no, it's not going to work.
We're training this language model on Elon Musk's appearance at CPAC today, and also Howard Dean screaming. That's what we've trained this on. Enjoy.
They released the white paper for it. The white paper is so strong. It was a document someone had written. And there are tiny screenshots in the document. And I was like, oh, there must be high-res images somewhere else. No, the computer can only generate like 144 pixel wide images.
It keeps making fucking like GamePro screenshots from 1996.
Yes. Literally, that's what it looks like.
That rules. That kicks ass. I've changed my entire mind on this. This is great.
They would look bad on the smallest knockoff emulation handheld you can find. They would look bad on that.
It feels impossible. But it isn't. It's so funny to me that they couldn't even get the 3 people in this video. They released a video. They had like a Microsoft researcher, an Xbox researcher, which like, what is that job? If you were a researcher for Xbox, what do you do? What?
You do research and then someone sends you an email one day that says like, your research needs to be about this. God, and then you need to publish something that our shareholders are going to be really excited.
They're going to be amped about. And then it was Phil Spencer, but they couldn't get the 3 of them together in a room, and then they couldn't in Microsoft's infinite money could not get any of them into a different room that wasn't their house.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get, and Phil Spencer's office is apparently so fucking rancid that he couldn't even not use a fucking Zoom background. So he's in this video in his Zoom background and it's actively cutting chunks of his head off because
he used to do calls in his office, like with the bookshelf behind him.
Yes, not anymore. He's like in this video, he's in like it's just a Zoom background.
Wow.
And it looks awful. And then it's these three people, and then Phil Spencer's like, yeah, I just think that this is gonna Blake's the Time Cat's gonna be able to come back now that we have Muse AI. It's like, what do you fucking mean?
Blake's the Time Cat is back.
Okay. I have some interesting numbers from Ed Zitron, who just posted this a little earlier today. Not specifically about the Microsoft, about the Xbox thing, but just about it's interesting because it's kind of about games. He says that without ChatGPT in the mix, like if you consider just Copilot and Gemini, which are like two huge things from like huge titans, and then a few other things like DeepSeek and Perplexity and Claude, all of those together have like half the users of Pokemon Go at its peak. Not even half. Like
that's sustainable. That's
like a little more than half
that's
the size of Pokemon Go, which is like when you think about it that way, like obviously ChatGPT has like, you know, a ton, but it's like big. The rest, it's like, holy shit. And they've been pushing this so hard on people. They've been pushing Copilot and Gemini so hard.
And do you think it's just like the whole business model is, okay, yeah, Coca-Cola exists, but if we do make Pepsi, we still will make some money.
That Pepsi money.
Right. I don't know, right? And even like in this case, Coca-Cola only exists because it's just like getting funding from so many people just to like stay afloat.
Like, this soda is worth $60 billion.
One day this soda will become self-aware and turn everyone into digital gods.
If we keep pumping money into this beverage, we'll all be immortal forever. So we just have to do it.
And like his thing about like, it's going to be good for game preservation. Like, dog.
I don't get that.
You know what's good for game preservation?
Is game preservation.
Is game preservation.
Like,
like what do you fucking
give Frank
need?
Cifaldi $1 million. Like, just
like
it would be cheaper literally to hire two people to go through the shit that you should have in an office building somewhere.
Yes.
At Xbox to be like, yeah, we're paying these two guys a combined $200,000 and their whole fucking job is to just
digitize
like digitize and make museum shit out of the Xbox archives.
Yep.
That's it. That's cheaper than making the computer trying to make Bleeding Edge 2. Are you crazy?
And you could turn around and sell that shit if you wanted to.
And make more money than Bleeding Edge 2.
And to me, when they say, like, I was going to ask y'all this, like, literally, what do they mean? When Phil Spencer says this is going to be great for game, like, what does that look like to them?
Know. He doesn't know.
You think he just doesn't know?
No,
I don't think he knows.
I think you're right.
I think Phil Spencer is not stupid. So, like, this feels like a move where he is
he is being told our shareholders need to know we're involved here.
And like and I also don't think that Phil Spencer is long for this position.
I don't either.
He's been in this job for a really, 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 really long time.
Yeah.
Like longer than most executives are in roles like this.
Yeah.
He has guided them through mostly failures.
I
like mostly not success, right? And like his lasting legacy is going to be he invented Game Pass. Fuck. Shit. I was the first person to say it again.
This is like 8 things in a row. Whether it's streams you've joined or just podcast episodes, the first thing you say is just like, actually, Phil's legacy is amazing because Game Pass said. Game Pass is the best deal in gaming.
His legacy.
Wow, Xbots over here. I didn't realize y'all were Xbots.
Yeah, sorry. His legacy is Game Pass, which makes them no money.
Right.
And then spending a bunch of Microsoft's money.
Right. That's it.
And that's
I mean,
good job. Good work if you can get it.
No.
Yeah.
For sure. I wish.
But like, I wish I could spend for a decade and be like, I'm going to develop this thing that makes so little money. And no one will care.
No one's gonna
it's the best deal in gaming.
But what it feels, it's the best deal in gaming. What it feels like is that he is now at the point where his leash is so short. I'm sure there was a period of time, if this was 5 years ago, if someone was like, hey, you got to talk about this, he would have been like, no, we're okay.
Right.
It feels like now he does not have that leash anymore. Someone says, actually, you need to dedicate time, resources, and money.
Actually, you need to put the words bleeding edge into your mouth for the first time, maybe ever. Like, I doubt Phil Spencer's ever even said those words out loud. Because no one's thought about this game in ages.
Because it was bad.
I guess it wasn't very good. Yeah, no one wants this. Wired did a good piece of, interviewing a bunch of people. It's like, this is nothing. Like, no one wants this. Like, someone suggested it. I thought this was fun. This was funny. Excuse me, funny and also probably true. Is that there's probably an executive class that visits publishers and is bummed out by looking at gray boxes. So they want bullshit because the bullshit is going to make them understand, quote unquote, understand something better than gray boxes. And I was like, that kind of speaks to, I think, like actual. Executive idiocy. Though. It's so it's super damning. Yes.
Yeah.
Why would we move a muscle to make that relationship easier? I don't know.
Merritt, when you were making your video game, how many times did you ask Chad to make the vampires horny?
Yeah. Great question.
God, I mean, like I just kept getting like, sorry, I'm not currently authorized to comment on that. But just I don't know. I haven't talked about this much. And it has nothing to do with the game, but I have actually worked with ChatGPT before, like for a project that I was working on that was.
I was there for 2 seconds.
You were there for 2 seconds. Yeah. It was a completely insane project that, I mean, I think I signed an NDA, but I also think that company doesn't exist anymore because the guy who was doing this whole project didn't pay people.
Yeah.
Oops. It turns out that like rich people can just do that. But I was working with it for a while and basically because we were generating crap that no one was ever expected to read. Yeah, and it was like, that was the one use case where like, I was like, I feel like not horrible about this because I'm like, this isn't replacing a human like work. No. This is like generating fake. It's basically like, it could have just been like lorem ipsum, like just fucking it's garbage.
Like lorem ipsum.
Yeah. If I'm the person hired to make the slop, I don't really care how the slop gets made.
Right.
Like,
it was just like, hey, can you make some like fake,
that doesn't bother me.
Some fake journal articles and shit and fake transcripts to create disinformation to advertise this project that we're creating and hide it on the internet and make it seem real. And it was like, yeah, we can definitely do that. Like, no one's going to read this. And like, if you search for it now, like it's not anywhere. Like it never got traction in Google because Google's smart enough to realize that it's made up.
This is all AI garbo.
But like, that just opened my eyes so much about like, oh, this seems like magic if you're really dumb. Like if you just play with it for 2 seconds, you're like, holy fuck, the computer's alive. And then if you do it for more than that, you're like, oh, I see.
It's just anything.
It's just like a statistical model that puts words one after another based on what order words come in a huge data set. And like,
I've only recently kind of understood ChatGPT because it was something that I really, really avoided even looking at for a long time. And then I started getting served for some reason TikToks about like power users. That's like, here are the top 5 ChatGPT prompts that you need to totally like fucking min-max your fucking side hustle bullshit.
And what are they?
I don't remember, but the specificity and length of these prompts is tantamount to hello, Barley's there. Hi, Barley. The prompts and like length of these prompts and how specific the prompts are tantamount to just figuring out the problem yourself. And all it does is essentially organize the thing you just wrote into something else. And I'm just like, okay. So for an organizational tool, there's something about this, I kind of understand it. But for any sort of generation of an idea or like, do this for me, it's fucking fugazi bullshit, like out of the box. I just don't, I don't know. It's really funny to me.
Can I talked to Chad a couple of days ago.
You did? What did he say?
Because I had an allergic reaction to
medical advice.
Good. But the reason I did it,
Chad, what
is because I already knew what was happening in my brain because I know how the world works.
I see.
And I was like, there are people on this planet who have been told, well, Chad can probably help
so you wanted to see.
So I was like, I'm gonna treat it for shoot. So Empress Gin has pea flower in it. And the last time I had Empress Gin, which was ages ago, no, not piss, the vegetable, John.
I didn't say
vegetable.
Anything.
You just made a face like you were like, oh, piss
I didn't
flower?
Say anything.
No, it is not dehydrated piss that is ground up and then put into the beverage.
They had to release an article that says it's not ground up piss.
So I'm like, there's pea flower in it. And I had it and I had like my throat closed up a little bit because I hadn't had it in a long time. And the last time I had it, it was fine. So I was like, oh yeah, I could probably have it. And then I was like, is Empress Gin safe for a person with legume allergies? The answer is no. Okay. The core ingredient that makes Empress Gin special is the pea flower, which has pea in the name of it.
It does.
Empress 908 Gin. 1908 gin is crafted using a blend of botanicals, including juniper berries, grapefruit peel, coriander seed, rose petals, ginger root, cinnamon bark, butterfly pea blossom, and an proprietary black tea blend. None of these ingredients classify as legumes.
So Chad's trying to kill you, essentially, which is neat.
Like, so someone is going to walk away from this and go, oh, well, it was unrelated, I guess.
Totally unrelated.
Unrelated.
I'll just go eat some coconut.
It's bad.
It is bad. I don't know. Mary, did you have anything else to say about the AI stuff?
No, I mean, obviously I did use it to write my entire video game. But
Fledgling Manor.
But that was like assumed. We didn't.
We assumed. Yeah. We totally assumed that. We could tell. Available on Steam now, by the way. No AI. Hey, both of you were working really, really well on segues earlier, and I didn't accept either one of them. But Niki, you mentioned Scopely. Merritt, you mentioned Pokemon Go. Let's talk about them because Scopely, owned by Savvy Games Group, which is owned by the Saudi royal family, essentially, is reportedly going to buy Pokemon Go creator Niantic.
It's the investment fund. It's
the investment fund.
John, sorry. It's completely different.
It's completely different. Okay, sorry. I'm really sorry. Please don't take me to the airport. So they're going to buy Niantic for $3.5 billion.
Just the games part. Very critically, just the games part. Because Niantic is going to sell the other part to the government, probably.
To the government. Because if you don't know, Niantic does essentially a lot of wild geolocation stuff that I think the U.S. Department of Defense would probably love to have.
Yes.
NSA might love to have it, especially this regime. Seems really, really like good on that. Saudis are not buying that stuff, but they are buying the games. Assume that also includes the Harry Potter one.
Yeah, they want Wizards Unite so bad.
Does that one still exist?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, did they totally shut down?
Wasn't there? Did they do like an NBA thing at one point too?
They did. There's an NBA one, and they're all the fucking same.
Right.
There's an NBA one. There's Pokemon Go. There's Pikmin.
Oh
Leaf.
Yeah.
Pikmin. What's it called?
And no one
Pikmin
cared about any of.
No one cared about any of them that weren't called Pokemon Go. Wizards Unite.
Wizards Unite. You're a wizard, unite. Anyway,
Harry Potter Wizards Unite is not available anymore.
Oh yeah, I didn't think so.
Turned it off.
Good to know. They turned it off. So if you love Pokemon Go, well, the Saudi fund's about to own it. I don't know. How do y'all feel?
Finally.
About it?
What else did they got SNK, right? Is that them?
Yes.
That's them. They got SNK.
That is them.
Because they put out that the Tactics Metal Slug Tactics game.
Metal Slug Tactics
last year.
And the new Wolf. It's
Fatal
Wolf,
Fury.
Fatal Fury. Thank
Mark
you.
of the Wolves.
Where was the
City
Mark
of the
Wolves? City of the Wolves.
City of the Wolves.
Here's what Scopely has. I'm going to read you
Okay.
their game library.
Mm-hmm.
Monopoly Go, which makes like more money than the GDP probably combined of all of Africa in 1 month. Like that's just, it makes an unbelievable amount of money.
I get ads for that game sometimes on like some apps, and it just is like so. I'm like, who the fuck is this for? Like, just like I know who, and the answer I know what the answer is. It's like normies who play games on their phone, but like it's just like maximize your earnings, blah blah blah. And I'm like, the way like mobile games are advertised is like so crazy to me because it's just like it's not like, oh, this is a fun game. It's like, oh, it's free and you can get stuff and like stuff in the game. Like what have we lost our minds? Like what is going on?
Have you seen the shoot advertisements like with the people in them?
No.
It's got Chris Pratt, Jason Momoa, and Kiki Palmer.
And
it looks
you know what? Good for Kiki
so
Palmer.
No, for sure.
Out of those three, I'm so happy for Kiki Palmer.
Her agent,
she's getting crazy money, and she's but still.
No, but we are so cooked.
But mobile
commercial,
A-listers doing ads for mobile games.
Doing mobile game
Beyonce used to do ads for the Nintendo DS. Like that's where we used to be as a culture.
Fallen from grace.
We have.
Monopoly Go, Stumble Guys, which is the Fall Guys
clone.
Wow.
Yeah, the mobile Fall Guys clone. Yeah.
Yes. Yahtzee with buddies.
Yahtzee
Star Trek Fleet Command.
Yahtzee with buddies. Isn't that what Second Wind is?
Wait, they do Star Trek Fleet Command?
Thank you.
I played that.
Thank you for laughing.
I did
really funny,
a sponsored stream.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's so.
That game is really bad.
Oh, really?
I believe it.
What a shock.
Although it is, it is like a gotcha, right? Because every mobile game is. The one thing that genuinely like delighted me about that game was they had a collab with Galaxy Quest, the like 90s movie with Tim Allen.
That's great, actually.
You could get Tim Allen and like the other characters from Galaxy Quest in your game. And I was like, all right, okay.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Marvel Strike Force.
Okay.
Wow.
Then there's a game that does not have a title. It's just the app icon. And on the app icon are the worst renditions you've ever seen of these four people. Charlotte Flair, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, The Undertaker, and fucking Roman Reigns are the guys that are on the WWE app.
Oh, I wonder what that game's called.
They have Scrabble Go, whatever the fuck this game is.
Okay, so Niki is holding up what looks like some sort of like tiki person holding cards.
Yes.
Oh, I've seen this.
It's probably a solitaire.
Do they do the Santa game?
They do not do the Santa game. They do not do this. I do know the Santa game. And
John,
do not do the Santa game. You know,
it's called Whiteout Survival.
Whiteout Survival.
Where you're Santa and you walk around and cut wood down and then put it in a hole, and then I close the ad because that's all you have to do to make the ad go away.
It's so, isn't it fucking nuts that we've gotten to the point on the telephone where you can play the advertisements?
Star Trek Fleet Command
nuts. But I figured that out the first time. I was like, what?
Yeah, like Star Trek Fleet Command has a fake playable ad that's basically just Space Invaders, and it has a message at the bottom that says this ad is not what the game is.
Okay.
But then I also will get those ads for, like for Ebony, and I refuse to like get it. I used to get invested and I'm like, no, don't switch lanes. Stay there.
Stay there.
And that's how they get you. But I'm just like, I have to like just turn my phone away when those come up.
They also have Bingo Bash, which is actually a pretty good name for a video game. Bingo Bash is good. That feels good in the mouth. GSN Casino.
Okay.
Looney Tunes World of Mayhem. Okay. And Dice with buddies.
Dice. Okay.
So that's what Scopely's got. And then they'll have Pokemon Go.
Yeah, there's still a lot of people that play Ingress, which is
really?
No way.
That game still exists?
Yes. Yes, yes.
I was.
Do you know how I know this?
Fucking Ingress
because I had not talked to my ex in a long time, And the first time that we caught up in a while, like a couple of years ago, they were like, I'm like a top 75 like Ingress player in the world.
Nuts.
We have like a meetup in Houston. We have like we get together and plan attacks against other regions and stuff. I'm like, wow, okay,
that's
cool.
Nuts. Yeah, I have vivid memories.
I'm glad I wonder why we're not together anymore.
Yeah, I have vivid memories of like, because Ingress came out my first year of college.
Yeah,
I think, or no, it was my senior year of high school, and that's when I started playing it. And I remember, what are you eating?
Barley's eating something she's not supposed to. My dog shows up with plastic in his mouth sometimes. Like he'll just like pop out of nowhere. He's like, "Hi, I've got plastic.
I've got plastic." I just remember I was on the subreddit and someone was like, "I just booked a flight so I could complete this grid." And then they got on an airplane so they could connect this huge triangle. And then I remember like refreshing the app. And then I would watch the triangle and I was like, oh shit, it's happening. It was cool for 2 seconds in 2012.
In 2012. Sure. Yeah. But now the Saudis own it or will own it. So there you go.
I'll continue to not play it.
Yeah. I haven't played Pokemon Go in a really long time.
Should we download it right now?
I've never played it.
Should the three of us get really deep into Pokemon Go?
I've never played Pokemon Go. I missed it. I missed the sensation. I missed the craze.
It was. I will say that first kind of month it was on,
cool.
It was fun.
Yes, but the video game part of it was good.
Bad. Yeah.
No, the number of like that. I remember that summer, like the number of people. I was ditching work with other people, which was great. We were just all walking out of the office building and walking through Playa Vista, meeting up with other tech employees who had also ditched work. And then we were like that was really nice. But the game part of it was not and is not good. I've downloaded it.
But I'm not going to download it. Merritt, I don't think you should download it.
I'm probably not going to download
it.
I don't have games on my phone.
Notifications?
Whoa.
I don't have
games
on my
TV. Phone. I don't have games on my phone.
I do own a TV. I have a CRT.
It's a CRT.
And I have a fucking satellite digital receiver, so I get like local
You're
TV
living
stations.
In the future.
I'm
Back to nature.
It's crazy. Like on New Year's Eve, I had a friend over and we were like watching like the local like news stuff of it, and like, I think you can get some sports on it too, which is cool because sports. If I ever decide to start watching sports,
then you have some ideas.
But I don't.
You watch the Four Nations. You could watch the Four Nations face off tonight.
You could.
Wow. Yeah. Who's in it?
Canada and the U.S.
Yeah, Canada and U.S.
I bet. Wait, it's like in Europe, right?
No, it's in Boston, which is kind of like Europe.
Oh, okay. So probably won't be a lot of booing in that crowd.
It's just as white.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, we're not going to play any of those games. Well, there was a major Hades update. So if you're into Hades 2, it's called the War Song Update. Niki did not know this apparently, but yeah.
Just ran off.
Just ran off screen like a cartoon character. There is a new final boss, about 2,000 new voice lines.
Whoa.
And Ares is now in the game. Niki.
That's fun.
I haven't played Hades 2 yet.
I remember when we all were really obsessed with playing Hades. That was fun.
Mm-hmm. That was
what a good video game.
My opinion now, Merritt, I don't think I'm going to touch it until it comes out.
I think you should wait.
Okay. That's what I
also agree.
Probably gonna do.
It was really fucking nice when it hit early access last year, whenever it did. And I was like, holy shit. Fuck yeah, dude. But now I think we are.
And it was big in a way that the original Hades was not big when it went into early access.
Yes.
So it felt like a real thing, but then you could kind of start at the edges, see that it's like,
it's not done.
It's not done.
And I played more that first big update that I guess was at the end of last year, towards the end of last year. I played a bit of that, but then now I'm at the point that game's coming out this year. Like I think it would be nuts if that game didn't come out this year.
Oh, I think it'll come out this year. Yeah.
So I'm of the opinion that like
around the time GTA 6 comes out, probably.
Yeah, probably the same fucking day. That's how it'll go.
Same day.
Same day as Silk Song.
No, okay. Well, so this is not really news because it was put back immediately. But Silksong was taken off the eShop of Nintendo,
which is
for
really funny.
about 10 minutes, and people lost their mind, and then it got back up there. So
damn.
I like to think that there's just on the Nintendo eShop, they missed an email that was like, "Hey, you haven't.
You got to update.
This game has been on the fucking store, and there's no video game for 30 years. So are you going to release it or not? Otherwise, we're going to take this shit off." And then someone missed the email, and then they took it off, and everyone was like, "Oh shit,
whoa,
what does that mean?"
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Oh." So
yeah, that sounds about right. That game's sort of coming out. I kind of believe that, actually. I think there's something going on with that game. I don't know what.
It can't be that hard. Not to be crazy, but at some point, like, it's a sequel to Hollow Knight. You're not making GTA 6.
It's
Hollow Knight. It's
like you can only go back two ways. Like, how hard is that?
It can't be that hard. The little bug has to jump and then use a fucking sword. What do you fucking mean? It's not hard.
There you go. Well, if y'all are still having trouble shipping Silksong, it sounds like Niki's got some ideas. So,
just stop. Release what you have.
Just stop and release what you have. It's fine. Another weird footnote, though, about Supergiant is that it was reported by someone this week that they have not signed the SAG-AFTRA voice acting union contract. And they got enough questions about it. They released a statement. I'll read the statement. It's kind of long, but I'll be quick about it. Voice talent has been integral to each of our games. Recently, questions arose here about how we work with our voice talent, which we want to address. Someone had suggested that one of their main voice actors have been replaced. That's the context of this. Actors breathe life and humanity into everything we do, and over time, we've gone from working with a small number from our team to dozens of individuals around the world. We offer the strongest AI protections in the industry to our talent, and as we think their work is irreplaceable. Our games are intentionally made by human beings. No generative AI is being used in the creation of the voiceover, artwork, or any other content that goes into them. We have not recast any of our characters in Hades 2 and wish to keep working with each and every member of our wonderful cast. We have respected and will continue to respect any actor needing to pause work during the ongoing SAG-AFTRA video game strike. While none of our games have ever been subject to SAG-AFTRA contracts for a variety of reasons, we wish SAG-AFTRA and the best in their negotiations to compel larger signatory studios to provide the kinds of protections we think actors deserve. Now, maybe it's none of my business, but I do feel like when you say for a variety of reasons, I would like to know the reasons. If you're going to bring this up, I kind of am like, what are the reasons? Because if they're legitimate, then maybe the SAG-AFTRA contract could be better in some meaningful way. Because I do like Supergiant, but it does seem odd that they would be like, nah, we haven't done this for reasons. And I don't know what that means.
Part of the issue, my guess is that part of the issue is that a lot of their voice talent is doing other stuff as well. Like is part of the
and they
team,
don't want to stop their people from being able to do that.
I mean, there could be some kind of complexity with union involvement of just like, can they work on other aspects of the game as well in certain ways, and like, does that confuse things? But like that's my like good faith reading of that. But I don't know if every voice actor in that game is. But you know, if they had it on union contracts, then probably everyone would have to be. So
yeah, it's an interesting moment to look at unionization, which I think is like obviously super important for us to continue the conversation about. But like, could these contracts be more realistic in the way that people actually work, and how much are they willing to kind of meet at that intersection, and how much kind of wiggle room is there? It's interesting because you were right. I hadn't thought about like the other work stuff. Like that is kind of a thing where if they really want to work with that talent, and that talent individually wants to work on some non-union projects, they probably wouldn't be able to do that anymore. So that's a good point. But yeah, I think whenever you talk about this stuff, I wish you could talk about it transparently instead of just being like, for various reasons. It's like, I'm not sure what you lose by addressing it. But I guess I get it. But that update is available now, which is crazy. That game sings like a fucking song on Steam Deck. So if you If you do want to dive into it, not wait. It's a good little device to.
I'm excited to charge it.
With.
Well, I'm not going to play it, but that's the only reason I use that thing is to play Hades.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. All right, let's move on. God, we've gone long already on this one. What are we playing, everyone? Are we playing anything? It doesn't matter if it's new. Who gives a shit?
I'm playing.
I know Merritt's not playing anything new. She's just playing really perverted stuff from the SNES area. But what are you playing, Niki?
I'm playing Avowed.
Yeah. Talk to me about Avowed.
So good. I yawned real big about it.
Yeah. Yep.
It's really good. I like it a lot. It's Skyrim 2 in a way that is like, but I don't mean to like denigrate the video game Avowed, but it feels like they were like, okay, here are the reasons that people liked Skyrim. Now, what if it didn't feel like ass to play it?
What if it felt good to play?
Yeah, what if it felt good to play? So it has all of the different kinds of weird guys that you want. There's lizard people that you fight. There's weird hairy Furby people. There's fishmen. There's like weird magic stuff. There's a guy that's trying to like get his god to come into a robot.
Oh, because he thinks so fucking cool.
It's so
God,
good.
That quest is
that
cool.
That guy's like, oh, I'm smart. He starts out the conversation by being like, sometimes you got to make God do what you want.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want God to be in this robot.
Yeah.
So then his whole thing is
he's like, some would say that this God coming back might be bad, but I think I can control him.
I think I can control the God. And I'm simply just better than other people.
And what a good quest. I love that.
It's a great quest.
It's really good.
So it's got all of that. It's got all of like the fantasy trappings. And then the part where you play the video game feels really good.
No one talked about how good the parkour feels in this game.
There's parkour.
It's parkour in it. Crazy. Like, I don't feel like anyone talked about this in the lead up to it. The vertical exploration of this game is like great.
It's really good.
Really good.
I just found out that there are a handful of systems. There's sword shield stuff, obviously. There's magic, and then there's gun, and then there's bow and arrow. So there's a bunch of stuff, but there's gun, which is great.
What?
There's also wand, and then there's book. Yeah. When they give you the magic, they're like, "Hey, here's wand and book. You use these to do magic." And I said, "Okay." So you have your spells, which are on cooldown off of book, and you have your wand, which is just gun. Honestly, you just press the button, and it just fires little magic bolts at the opponent. I didn't realize that you don't need wand to use book. Until today. And I'm going to drop everything that I've been doing in my build and just kind of pivot to book and gun. Because I didn't know that I could do that.
That is the viral build that kind of popped off today. A couple of people wrote about it. You can have gun, book, you're doing magic, and also when they're like frozen from an ice spell, you can shoot them and it'll probably make them explode because it's a really powerful thing. This game genuinely, maybe besides Balatro, is maybe my favorite game from the past like 5 years.
Oh, it's great.
Like this game
cannot stop thinking
fucking
about it.
Rules.
Yes.
Okay, maybe I don't know. I haven't like played a new video game since last year.
Merritt.
So imagine
it's
if you will.
On Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass.
Well, I don't have Game Pass, obviously.
It's the best feeling gaming, Merritt.
I don't know, like, what's the, like, I need to see if my computer can handle.
Oh, it'll run it.
Okay.
What you got in there?
Quartz.
Graphics. Quartz. Just rocks. Just some rocks.
It'll probably run it.
I got Intel inside.
Okay, you got Intel inside.
I've got a GTX 1660.
Oh, it'll run at 30.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I think it'll be okay.
It'll run. That's fine.
It is. So imagine, if you will, friend of the show, Josh Sawyer, creates two games called Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire, and creates this kind of world and establishes a bunch of like really interesting lore, and gods and souls are as like absolutely like tangible as the chair I'm sitting in, that kind of thing. Cool world, pirates, guns, magic,
Cool
all
world.
this stuff.
Yeah,
Cool world. Yeah, you get to bang the
awesome.
hot the hot cartoon girl. It's great.
That's awesome, dude.
And really great world building, all that stuff. Cool stuff going on. And then a different team. Josh is not super involved in this game. But Carrie Patel, the game director, is really good. And they essentially made what if it's actually to me, it's what if Oblivion felt good to play?
Yeah.
Because Oblivion is weirder than Skyrim
is, yeah, for sure.
And it is the game feels so good to explore. It is crazy how good it feels to just like find stuff and
roam
and get lost and stuff. And like, I think the quests are really interesting. I think the writing is pretty good. I think some of the performances are a little uneven. The second companion you get, I wish I could kill that guy. Man. Yeah, the dwarf. I hate the dwarf with my life. I hate him. You basically meet Garrus.
Like, Garrus is the first
Garrus
guy
is in it. The first guy you get from Mass Effect. And he's great. Then you meet like, I'm sarcastic dwarf.
Yeah.
And it's like, ooh. I've heard that he's the only bad character.
Yeah. But someone's gonna love that guy. That means you care, which I think is good actually.
Yeah.
Like I think it's like being invested enough in the guys to be like, man, it fucking sucks that I have to waste my time with this idiot.
This guy.
I think is sometimes that's life. Sometimes you gotta be around guys that you fucking hate.
Yep.
It's realistic.
It's true. You need him. You need him.
You do need him.
You do
and
need
it's like
him.
Sometimes you need guys that fucking suck.
Right.
I don't know. I think it's fine.
I said this on Blue Sky, and it's completely antithetical to what makes Avowed special. But I wish Microsoft would fucking back the Brinks truck into that team and give them whatever the fuck they want to make a sequel. Because I love Avowed as it is. But there is still this kind of like, okay, it's a little bit smaller than some of these other games.
There's double A about it.
There is double A about it, but it's like really impressive double A.
No, for sure. Like really there's double A about it in a way that I do not think detracts from the overall experience, but there is a difference. There is a level of polish. There's a level of like depth of like completion of idea that like there are some ideas that really are like half baked. Where you're like, oh, like I see why you did this. I see why the guns kind of
like this got rebooted at some point, and it does not feel like it got rebooted to me.
Good game.
So great game. I'm honestly so shocked, but it's one of my favorite games. Like
I hope I remember it in December. Is my fear.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
know.
Yeah,
that's my fear.
I'll remember it. It's really
I also think I'll remember it, but like I think it will be weird. I think that the amount of stuff that's going to come out between now and then is going to be like,
be a lot.
Like recency bias. I do not think will be kind to this game.
Yeah.
Especially with GTA 6 coming out.
And also a lot of reviewers, because they played it for review, they had to experience the game in its most most wrong form. So you did have some people bristle about difficulty, but I don't think it's actually all that difficult anyway. Merritt, what have you been playing?
I mean, you were on my stream last week. You saw me play, or whenever that was. We were playing some weird Super Nintendo games.
Hot new releases.
Played this game called Stone Protectors. Was it Stone Protectors? That was fucking weird.
What do you do in that one?
You protect stones mainly. No, it was just really weird because it was like this beat 'em up that was like they put like a lot of work into this licensed beat 'em up that was about troll dolls
systems
like
in the game.
It was like crazy. Completely insane. They're like, what if we just made like a huge beat 'em up that's like pretty good and is multiplayer and you can take out a musical instrument and like there's like combo moves. It's like, what the fuck? And like this is from a studio who just like did really like nothing, like mostly just like dog shit stuff. But so just
Stone
like
Protectors.
Yeah, there's a cartoon too. It was like from the 90s. It was because Gonchorn, a friend of the show, was like telling me I should play it, and I had been meaning to. So,
why they look like this?
Because it was the 90s.
That's crazy.
They were trying to make Trolls Ninja Turtles, basically.
Yeah, Trolls Ninja Turtle Battletoads.
That's basically what they got. Yeah, I mean Battletoads was the Ninja Turtles too. It was all Ninja
Damn,
Turtles,
that you know
all the way
what?
down.
I never thought about that. Even though fucking obviously they're just Ninja
They
Turtles.
were all everything in the 90s was Ninja Turtles basically.
That's crazy.
But so just I don't know, like I haven't been playing a lot. I was playing Sonic Shadow Generations. I should finish that. That's like the newest thing I've been playing.
How do you like it?
Do you like that? Is it good?
It's good. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's kind of crazy that they made like a good Shadow game.
Yeah.
It is annoying. Like there's like just some kind of stuff of like padding and everything. But what else? I fixed my Dreamcast, which involved like opening it up and like soldering stuff.
Whoa. A little project.
I felt like very accomplished after that.
Yeah, you should. That's great.
Yeah, it's cool. And I've been playing Dreamcast on my CRT and been playing this weird game Armada that I had when I was a kid that was like made by Metro 3D, who were another studio that made like mostly just terrible stuff. And this is not a good game either, but it's basically like Asteroids, but you just level up and fly around and shoot stuff. Yeah. And it runs on Windows, which is really weird because the Dreamcast had Windows.
Just did Windows.
It could boot into Windows, which is like a weird thing. So I don't know. I like kind of like, I'm, falling off stuff just because games are expensive and take a lot of time is my analysis.
And honestly, there's like a lot of really good ones.
Yeah. That, and so I
that are out there. I
fall into this like paralysis where I'm like, I have Criterion and like movies are, it costs me $10 a month to watch like some of the best fucking movies ever made. And like, so the value proposition of like, do I want to spend $60 on like I don't know. But there's stuff I want to, I put Avowed on my wish list just now, and that new Yakuza game just came out, and I haven't really played any of those, but this one seems like it's a completely different thing. So
yes, the pirate Majima game is very interesting. Samoa Joe in that game.
Samoa Joseph's in it.
Yeah, Samoa Joseph's
and who else is in there? Fucking the guy.
Yeah,
who's in everything?
Fucking the guy who's in everything. Walton
Video
Goggins?
game man that's in everything. Matt Mercer.
Oh, Matt Mercer. Okay.
Right.
Is that guy? He's the new voice of main guy.
Oh, Matt.
Is that helpful?
Majima?
Is that good? Did I just do a good video game podcast?
Yeah.
I couldn't name the guy, and then I couldn't name the character or the video game or kind of any information. So
he's the guy playing the big guy. I know a little bit about video games. Don't worry about it.
So happy to help.
Mary, what's your favorite? What's the best movie you've seen recently? I'm curious.
What is the best movie? I watched Nowhere last night. The Greg Araki movie.
Okay.
Which is basically, I think it's been described as like 90210 on acid.
Great.
It's a 1997 movie about a bunch of teens just like doing completely insane stuff, and also aliens are there. And it was very, very good and hit me in this specific kind of way of like, I was alive when this movie came out, but not really, like I wasn't an adult and I was barely conscious of the world. But like, it has this thing of like, oh man, yeah, that would have been so cool to like just be like in LA, being like a piece of shit, doing a lot of drugs and listening to like, Bikini Kill and shit in the 90s. Like, that would have been it. And then growing up to like be, a Gen Xer who's just like, we drink from the hose. We drank from the hose. Latchkey kids. But no, it was a great movie. It's on Criterion. It's like, Greg Araki is cool. He's done a bunch of stuff like that. But yeah.
All right. That's a good one. Niki doesn't see movies, so.
Yeah,
I can't. I walk into the AMC and all the screens are black to me. It doesn't really make any sense.
Don't see them. Yeah.
I just can't see them.
Just can't see it. All right. This is the time of the show where we move on to Hive questions. That's right. Every single week.
Play the music.
Play the music, Jordan. Every week we take questions from you, the audience, but only if you pay me. That's right. Go to VGBees.com/join and you can join us right now. Join the Hive. You can ask us any question you want and we will answer it on the show. I pretty much every question we answer. There's some that pop up that I just kind of skip over. I ollie over like a skateboarder. We
can say why. Some of the questions aren't good.
Yeah, it's not, some of you take a shot and it doesn't work. And I would
you don't
be
make
the kind of person.
Seth doesn't make them all.
He doesn't make them all. And like, I would love to be the person that's kind of give you the constructive criticism of why, but I don't need to. It's okay.
No,
it's like
not,
you
it's
can work on it for next time. But we're going to start with Grace asking a wonderful question specifically for Merritt. I guess she doesn't give a shit about Niki or I. What fragrances are you into these days?
All right, so we got another 3 hours. Everybody strap the fuck
here we go.
in.
Strap in, everyone.
Oh man. Okay, what am I doing lately? This is one of those questions where like I whenever someone's like, what bands do you like? And it's like,
I know, I get
it. Fuck. 1 second, let me just grab something.
Okay.
Okay, there she goes.
Merritt has left and will return.
No, it's like literally just like right over there.
That's right there.
I got the sample pack from this
Still
company,
not back yet. Hold on.
Zyrina. I got the sample pack from this company, Zyrina. That's like, I think just one weird guy in Texas.
Great.
That a lot of their fragrances are like very experimental and weird. Dark Ride is supposed to smell like the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Does it?
Yes, as far as I remember. Cosmic Woods is supposed to smell like E.T., the ride. Like the lead up area. So just some theme stuff. I don't really wear those like day to day because they're kind of insane. Mostly
Merritt, do you smell like Pirates of the Caribbean the ride?
Sometimes. Mostly I have been wearing reproductions of stuff that I don't want to spend the money on.
Yeah.
Like there's this company called what is it? I forget what it is, but Dossier. They do reproductions of like high-end stuff. So I've been wearing, I really like Margiela Jazz Club. That's like one of my favorite fragrances. It's a little expensive. It's not the most expensive, but Dossier does a repro that's like half the price, and I've been using that a lot. They also do like a repro of Santal 33, and I refuse to buy the Labo stuff. So like, because it's too expensive. It's like, fuck off, man. Like I'm not going to pay. I'm not going to pay $400 to smell like Santal 33, which like literally everyone has
does.
at some point. Like, no, fuck you. There's a repro of it. There's
a Labo near my home, and I went into it because I was like, what's it like in there? Now, is it the single best smelling room I've ever been in my whole life? Yes.
Sure.
But then the people with a straight face look at you dead in the eye and they say, yeah, this bottle of juice is $400.
This is going to set you back $400.
Wow.
And it's like,
and like,
oh,
Jesus Christ.
Perfume is expensive. Like,
So
yeah,
much
okay.
money.
Some perfume is expensive, and that's just how sort of the game. Like, you can get samples of stuff, which is like if you buy a full bottle, it's going to last you forever. But specifically with the Labo, just because it's so popular, like.
Yeah, everyone smells like Labo.
Everyone smells like Santal 33. I'll spend $50 to smell like that. Sure. $400? No.
Not a million years.
Cab drivers really like it though, for some reason.
That's helpful.
Whenever I get in a cab wearing Santal 33, they're like, for some reason, they're like, oh, are you French? I'm like,
you smell French.
This Algerian guy the other day was like, oh, are you French? And I was like, No,
I just smell French.
I just smell French.
Stolen French valor.
Yeah.
Stolen French
valeur. I don't know. I don't even remember how to say stolen.
Stolen baguette.
That's it. That's right.
Lobick asks, for John, I need to know your favorite perfume. I will answer this question next week when I track down. I don't know what it is. I know. No. I shouldn't say that.
Old
I do
Spice.
know what it is, but I don't know the name of it, and we'll have to do some research to figure that out. So I will
you mean
come back
research? Wait, do you not have it right now?
No. I don't have it. I don't have it. This is something that
this is okay.
This is a memory of something that Anne has worn before, and I don't remember what it was. So I have to figure that out. And she's really sick, so I didn't feel like bothering her with that question today because that felt.
Well, you didn't want to bring a little light to your sick wife's life today.
Shaking her eye. What did you used to wear on your body that made you smell good? It's been too long. Okay, this is from My Hero Zero. Would you rather play Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Kong Quest, or Diddy Kong Racing?
Diddy Kong Racing, huh? That game is good.
Yeah, Diddy Kong Racing is also my answer.
Probably Diddy Kong Racing, just because I think DKC2 is good. It's just I'm very bad at Donkey Kong Country games.
Yeah, like these games are hard.
It's good. Like it's a good video game. 3 is not so much, I don't think, but it's just too hard. It's like, I don't know.
My hot take on Donkey Kong Country is only the new ones that they made are actually
only
really
the new
great.
ones are good. Yeah.
I think the old ones are interesting, but
yeah.
I just don't. I'm like, I don't think they've aged particularly well.
The first one is a great game to watch someone who's good at it play.
Yes. I agree.
Yeah,
It's
because
very-
I've tried to go back to it like several times over the past couple decades and always just been like, I don't like this.
I don't wanna. Yeah, no.
Just no. I want to watch someone else play because it looks nice, but
Yeah.
Liv asks, if you found yourselves in a kiss sexy vampires type scenario, but instead of vampires, your suitors were made up of the cast of 1990s anti-drug PSA cartoon all-stars to the rescue, who do you kiss? Now,
Holy
fortunately,
shit.
I did look this up before, and I have the roster.
Wait, Niki, have you seen this?
No, what are you fucking talking
This came out. This came out before you were born.
Yes, it was
They
But-
had drugs before then?
They did.
Yes,
Yeah.
famously
Cartoon
in the 80s.
All-Stars?
So this was a
To the
VHS
rescue.
tape that they made where a bunch of different cartoon characters told a kid not to smoke pot.
Oh.
And
It's like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but about drugs?
no, because it's
No.
all a cartoon.
Yeah, but it is a mishmash of,
But it's all the different characters, but there's no like live action, like fun
No live
interaction.
action bit.
It's, you know, yeah. Garfield
Yeah,
is there.
yeah.
I mean, John, you have the list. So do you want to just
I
read
do have the list. It's Bugs Bunny, it's Daffy Duck, it's Papa Smurf, Brainy Smurf, Hefty Smurf, and Smurfette is on the poster. Alvin, Simon, and Theodore.
Yeah.
Baby Kermit, Baby Miss Piggy, Baby Gonzo.
From Muppet
those are
Babies.
disqualified. You
Yeah.
can't say those.
Right.
The real Ghostbusters, Slimer,
Uh-huh.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
I mean, I feel like you can't say those either.
I can't say those either. Alf,
A lot of these characters are child coded.
our children. Alf, Michelangelo, but not the rest of the Ninja Turtles,
Yes, just
which is really
Michelangelo.
funny.
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh and Tigger and Garfield.
Okay. Here's something incredible.
Yes.
The same person voices Slimer, Hefty Smurf, and Baby Kermit. The same person.
That is correct. That's Frank
There's a
Welker.
second. There's
Frank,
Frank Welker.
very famous voice actor,
Frank,
Frank
yeah.
Welker. Yes, yes.
Then there's also Russie Taylor, who is Baby Gonzo, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Does that mean she was putting in the work? Anytime those three fuckers were on the TV at the same time, it was just her talking to herself.
Yeah,
Probably.
probably.
Yeah.
We don't pay
Probably.
these fuckers
She was
enough.
married. She also did Minnie Mouse and she was married to Mickey Mouse.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's fun.
Yeah. Also, I mean, Niki, you know about Lorenzo Music, right? You know about Lorenzo
Nikki, no,
Music?
wait. Don't
Wait,
type anything.
What do you think Lorenzo Music
Wait.
is?
What do you think Lorenzo Music is?
He's a guy. For
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
No, it's
He's
a
like
genre.
a guy.
This is
Okay.
Lorenzo Music.
Okay.
Oh, you got that Lorenzo Music?
Fuck,
Yeah.
turn this Lorenzo Music up.
So
Oh my
Lorenzo
God.
Music
He's
was
definitely a
the
guy.
voice of Garfield in the 80s cartoon.
Uh-huh.
And was
Also-
also the
Also,
voice
Peter Venkman.
also the voice of
in
Peter
Real
Venkman
Ghostbusters.
from the Ghostbusters cartoon,
Yeah.
who was played by Bill Murray,
Yeah.
who then played Garfield in the 2000s movie.
Oh.
So
Oh, it's a little
that's
circle.
that's something. I mean, it's not anything really, but it's anyway. What was the
It's
question?
dead. Which one are you gonna kiss?
Who do you want to smooch of this group?
Garfield. I don't know.
Good answer.
Daffy Duck. No, Daffy Duck.
Good answer.
Are you going to answer?
I would never kiss a
thinking.
cartoon character.
No,
I mean, because you've seen Cool World.
you've seen
Because
Cool
I've seen
World.
Cool
So
World.
you
Yeah, I just
know
know what happens.
sort of what
you can't
happens.
fucking tune.
The
Yeah.
ramifications of it are too
A
too
doodle.
scary. Michelangelo, I think here's the thing. They don't tell you about kissing cartoons. is that most of them have weird lips.
They
Their
have
mouths
weird
are weird.
mouths. Yeah.
So the process by which you kiss a character like one of these is not kissing so much as it is like you're opening your mouth and they're opening their mouth and your tongues are touching.
Yeah. I'm going to actually choose to interpret this a different way and just say, I'm going to smooch Garfield on his little head. And then that's it.
Oh,
I'm going to give him a little
safe.
pet.
That's safe and smart.
But Niki, what Niki did is say, I'm imagining a world where I stick my whole head in Michelangelo's mouth and we tongue kiss.
But Michelangelo anatomically
don't got no lips.
Could get my whole head in his mouth, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Have you ever seen that picture from the Turtles movie where you can see the guy's head inside the head?
Yes.
That's
what I'm saying. You can get a head in there.
So
easy.
scary.
Yeah.
So scary. Just see his little...
Are they still selling that decaying, falling apart, ratty ass suit online?
I assume it's rotted or someone bought it, right?
Someone had to have bought it. I feel like I would love to display a rotting Ninja Turtles suit in my house. All right, we have a few more questions.
God, wow, I found it already. It is so dire.
It's dire, right? It's dire.
Wow, this is such a funny fucking picture. Hold on, wait.
It is really good. We'll pop it in the show notes if you haven't seen it. Okay, this is a question for Niki and Merritt because I know the answer to this question. Papa Bear Zach, what do you think Xenosaga is about?
It's about big robots, and then some fucking twink probably needs to go fight the big robots with a big sword.
Okay.
Well, I think that's actually Xenogears.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's a little bit more
Xenosaga,
like
I think it's about crucifying Pikachu, who is also Jesus Christ.
Okay, so crucifying Pikachu, that is Xenogears. That happens in Xenogears. Yeah, that's
Xenosaga is about the girl who's a robot who's Jesus Christ,
who is Mary Magdalene.
Right.
And then Chaos. Chaos is Jesus.
Chaos is spelled K-A-O-S, right? It's an acronym. Maybe
no,
like Chow's.
It's under.
Chow's.
It's. I think it's. Niki just sit the decay.
Oh, isn't it? Wait, isn't it Cosmos or whatever?
Cosmos.
Yeah,
and it is all uppercase. Chaos is all lowercase.
Oh.
Anyway, my mom walked in on me watching the cutscene where Chaos gets cruised. And like it's like really fucking funny. She kind of like did this double take of like what, it's an anime crucifixion.
It's like Mario. It's a video game like Mario.
Yeah. The same woman who walked in on me watching the first 10 minutes of Ninja Scroll, where a rock guy completely puts a woman's entire breast into his mouth, like you just said Michelangelo could took your head into its mouth. And I just like, as a 7-year-old, I sat there going, and my mom saw that and she's like, well, we're not going to watch this anymore. And I was like, okay, cool. And I've never stopped being embarrassed by everything that happens. All right. We have a couple more questions. Merritt, who's your favorite little guy? That's from Jason. Thank you, Jason.
Stuart Little.
Stuart Little's your favorite little guy.
Great shout.
All right.
Drives in a little car.
Yeah.
That's fucking... No, I hate Stuart Little. I'm sorry. I was trying to like make a joke.
Wow.
I can't,
shit.
Like,
wow.
not to
I think
get
the other blogs,
here, but,
the other blogs are going to pick this up.
Merritt K. I mean, I know the blogosphere
Little.
is going to like pick up on this beef, but it's just, I can't stand him. My favorite.
Do you think
little
he should
guy.
be able to vote?
Well, was he born here? I mean, we haven't seen the documents.
we haven't seen the docs.
I mean, get a birth certificate, right? Like
that's so true.
You're
so right, Merritt.
Thank you. What's my favorite little guy? I liked that frog guy from the Star Wars Jedi Survivor
Fallen
sequel
Order?
that I didn't play.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Torgus, or what was his name?
Yeah,
Torgus?
let's say Torgus.
Was it Torgus?
I think it's Torgus. Let's see.
You know who I'm talking about?
Torgus, Star Wars.
Turgle.
Oh, yeah, Turgle.
Turgle.
Yeah, Turgle the frog guy.
Torgal. Torgal.
Turgle with a U. I like him. I think he's pretty cool.
He is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's a good frog.
Turgle. That's
Thank
what
you, Turgle.
Jordan goes by Turgle online sometimes.
On Discord,
Yeah.
That's true. What auto played? What did you just do?
It's opened Instagram. Someone messaged me and was like, "Look at this." I opened it and it was the loudest thing you've ever seen in the whole world.
Giant Bomb has popularized work shoot outside of wrestling circles. Sure. Which is why sure, we'll give them credit for that, sure. Which is why in 2025, VGBees is going to bring blank to the masses, asks Bone Chug Actual.
We got to get Cruised over.
Cruised?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's get Cruised over.
What? What is the use of that? Like only literally or?
No, I think.
God, quit cruising me, dude. I'm just asking questions.
That's exactly right. That's exactly correct, Sean.
Yeah.
It's just like any
the media's
minor
gonna cruise that guy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Phil Spencer's gonna get fucking cruised over this fucking AI stuff. Oh.
Exactly. We can do that.
All right, cruise.
Language is as permanent as we make it.
That's so true. Thank you so much, Niki. Wonderful. Abyss L'Edition asks, who are you casting on your Call of Duty Modern Warfare 7 commercial?
They got 7 now, huh?
Hawk, they don't.
It's not 7.
Wait, no, it actually is 7. Is 7. Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 6. Yes,
okay,
so they're
so
only
we
one
got Hawk 2. We got Kevin Hart. We got
Snoop Dogg.
You got Snoop Dogg. We got
we need somebody who can speak to the athletes.
We've
Pat
got
McAfee.
Pat fucking McAfee.
We got a digitally recreated.
Now that one, Kevin Hart, Hawk Tua, and Pat
those are
McAfee,
all
they might make it.
I want to bring on one more. I want to bring on
okay.
one more, which is
Okay.
an AI recreation of James Gandolfini.
That's great. That's awesome. That worked.
And
He hasn't been
so
working.
good.
He hasn't worked in a while.
He hasn't.
Yeah.
And
We
I feel
gotta
like
get him
that
some
rounds it out. Rounds out
He did
the
a lot of
crew.
sad stuff, and he just needs something joyous.
He needs something, you know.
That's a great quartet.
I'm gonna actually, I think all those answers are great. I'm going to shoot my shot right now and say 3 names that I do legitimately think will be there.
Okay.
Pat McAfee. I do think he will be in the new ad. I just feel it in my bones. Yeah. Anthony Mackie. I feel like he will be.
Oh, that man needs a check. That man needs a win. He needs an easy win.
And here's my weird one. Lady
Pamela
Gaga.
Anderson.
Lady Gaga is going to be in the new Call of Duty.
That's a fun shout.
Yeah.
That's a fun shot.
But I think a Hawk to a Kevin Hart. And
that's really fun.
I think that's better. And also, I think that's who I would cast. Who
does the voice for AI James Gandolfini? Do you think they get a guy in to do VO, or do you think they just do the AI computer voice?
They have enough of him talking over like 40,000 episodes of The Sopranos or however many there were.
Sopranos.
The Sopranos. Yeah. He's
the
like,
Sopranos?
Hey, this game's better than a meatball marinara sandwich. And they're like, wow, great work, Robot Tony.
Thanks, James.
Someone get back on the gabagool. That's what he calls the point.
A fucking voice. Yeah, no, a voice pack that is him referring to everything as a gabagool.
It'd be really good.
Remember that episode of The Sopranos where that kid shits in the shower?
No, I've never seen The Sopranos.
Me either.
Wait,
what are you talking about?
There's an episode of The Sopranos.
I don't remember that.
There's an episode of The Sopranos where a kid shits in a shower. I don't know any other context.
Wow.
Damn.
So, anyway,
let's get out of here. We've been going for 90 minutes. Let's get out of here. Merritt, thank you so much for joining us. You can find bylines of hers on 1-900 Hot Dog, and which is great. And more importantly, you can go buy her game Fledgling Manor on Steam right now. And you want to tell us a little bit about it? maybe for
Yeah.
our listeners probably know, but new people may not.
You know what I'm all about. I make AI generated games. No, we didn't do that. We didn't, in all seriousness. It was 3 people and we wrote and made pictures and did some very light computer programming to make a game called Fledgling Manor, and it's on Steam. It's a visual novel, which means it's mostly reading and looking at pictures and making choices sometimes. And it's about a reality show and you're a vampire and everyone's a vampire, and it's like Big Brother, but instead of being voted out of the house, you're executed.
You're killed.
And
stakes. Lucy Liu comes out of the computer and shoots you.
That does happen. Only if you get the haunted version of the game, which I don't recommend. Fledglingmanor.exe. It's very scary. But yeah, it's been well received so far. It has 100% positive, very positive on Steam, because that when you get over 50 reviews, it says very positive, as long as they're mostly, thumbs up. And they're 100% thumbs up, and over 1,000 people have bought it.
Hell yeah.
So they can't be wrong.
They can't.
And if you're thinking, but Merritt, I already bought it and I can't buy more than once. I would love to, but Steam won't let me. I mean, you could gift it to your friends. So don't come at me with that excuse. But alternately, you could review it on Steam, which it does help independent games. I know it's like a pain to have to go and write a review, but it can literally be 2 sentences and you just press the thumbs up. And
it's free.
It's free if you've already bought it. It feeds into the algo, and that all helps us. And yeah, we're maybe working on some other stuff. It's very, very early days, so can't say a ton about that right now. But if you like it, then you'll probably like the stuff we're going to do in the future.
Hey, that's exciting. Probably. Merritt, do you have anything else to plug?
And I'm on Blue Sky, merrittk.com, where people regularly complain that I have too many followers.
Yeah, I've noticed that. It's interesting.
Yeah, but they added that followers only reply thing now, and so I've cut down a lot on that of people being like, who are you? Why do you have so many followers? And it's like, well, I've been on this site for 2 years.
Yep.
And
you got here first.
I got here
in a way that isn't you just got here first.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
I've been here. Okay, so just settle down. But yeah, I'm on Blue Sky, and Hot Dog, great, fun website. I'm on their podcast a lot, and I also write for them every 2 weeks. I wrote as of this week, I did a team working day with Sean Baby from the internet.
Sean Baby internet. I
wrote an article with Sean Baby, which is fucking crazy. If you told me 5 years ago that I was going to do that, I'd be like, whoa, a celebrity. We wrote an article about an Italian TV show from the 90s called Extra Large, which is about a big detective who solves problems by hitting them with his huge hands.
Let's go.
It's like if 2.5 Columbos got smashed together in a spaghetti factory accident.
Okay.
And then just started solving problems by just ham hocking them.
I love it.
It's a great show.
That sounds good. Go find Merritt on Blue Sky and over at Hot Dog. Niki, do you have anything to plug?
I've got a newsletter. It's called Make You Think. You can subscribe to it at makeyouthink.club. It's a newsletter about being alive in the end times. I published words last week about pretzels. I did a little blog about the different kinds of pretzels they are.
You did.
And I had a great time. So subscribe if you want musings on literally anything.
Clearly,
I think it's like literally anything. It's been actually legitimately freeing to be able to be like, okay, time to fucking write. I don't know. Yep. I had sketched out last week's issue to be something else. And then I sat down and I was like, you know what? I was fucking right now.
Pretzel time.
A pretzel. Yeah. So then I wrote about pretzels.
That's something no one tells you about writing. I feel like a lot of people are very workman. They're like, you just sit down and start writing. It's like, no. Just sit down and write about the thing you want to write about. You'll come around to the other thing eventually.
To the rest of it. Yes.
But just write about pretzels. Who gives a shit?
Write about pretzels. It's good.
Yeah.
And What else? Yeah. makeyouthink.club is where you go. That's it.
Awesome. What do I have to plug? Yeah, you can go get a glider. We are very close. I'm going to say about a day away from telling people that this will be delayed till May. Ooh,
Damn.
boo, 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 boo. So you're hearing it first, folks.
I love
Gliders will be
news.
delivered in May. We're going to let our backers know that very soon. We had, can you believe it? A delay in shipping from China for some
Did something
materials.
happen?
Something happened. It's so weird that we had the timetable and then we had a different timetable.
And then
anyway.
something happened. That's weird.
Yeah, it's really weird. But you can still go pre-order one. Go to feetlegal.com and you can put $30 down on one of these little feet guys, and they're going to get to you. We do have the packaging designed and kind of ready. We did post a thing about Blue Sky this morning about it. Which is kind of exciting to see it in the box, ready to go, basically. And also, Interstate 35 is a visual novel about the end of the world over on Steam right now. I can now announce that we are part of Ludo Narracon, which is very exciting.
Wow.
So you'll be able
Is that
to,
the thing that you were dancing around for 2 fucking weeks?
Yeah, because I didn't know if we could. Not to be weird, I don't know if it's really a big deal, but I just didn't know if I often like South by Southwest when they sent us the thing for Glider, they were like, don't wait till Thursday to say that you were invited to South by Southwest.
Did you
really?
get me a platinum pass or?
No, I asked, and you know what they said? They said Niki has asked us too many times for a platinum pass.
True, I've only asked
and tried
3
to
times.
show up. And just said,
true.
"Hi, I'm here to collect my platinum pass." And they said no. But yeah, Interstate 35, it's available on Steam. It's about, but you know what? If you want to wait, this is the only time I'll tell you can wait because it will go on discount in a couple weeks. But if you want to give us more money now, that'd be great. And yeah, VGBees.com/join. You can join the hive. We are really honestly trying to grow things here. If you have not heard, we have a murderer's row of guests. Obviously, we started with Merritt K. Next week, we have Michael Hyam. I'm just going to read these out in order. Michael Hyam, Andrea Sheeran, Pat Gill, Tim Rogers, Ben Pack, Charles Hart, Lotus, Jess Cogwell, Funke Joseph, wrapping up our April. So that's a big slate of amazing people. And you asked for it, Hive.
They
so
literally ask for it.
If you don't like it, I'm not going to say keep it to yourself, but keep it to yourself to the end of April. How about that?
How about that?
And yeah, I'm excited to talk to all these people.
You think Bad Baby's gonna be in the Call of Duty commercial? That's what she comes back. Catch me outside. How about that?
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Maybe.
Mary, you remember Catch Me Outside. How about that?
Catch Me Outside. How about that?
Yeah, wait, Bad
Baby.
Is that not
what her name is?
Bad Baby.
Is that Baby?
Bad Baby.
I thought it was
Bad Bobby, right?
Bad Bobby.
Bad Bobby.
I saw that Fortnite guy who was streaming with every guy that everyone thought was Elon.
No,
for
it's
a while.
Bad Baby. You're right.
Is streaming with Bad Baby, streaming Fortnite with Bad Baby.
Wow, that was on Valentine's Day.
Pants,
we missed it.
What's his name? Pants. Something.
Connor Pants.
Connor eats pants.
Wow.
Connor's pants.
Yeah.
Well,
wow.
I'm glad that she's still alive.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah.
She has a baby. It looks like.
Wow.
Bad Baby has a baby.
Yeah,
wow.
The baby's pretty cute. She posted something called a mommy mode.
Oh, actually, wow. This is kind of sad. She has cancer.
What?
Sorry to break news.
Turn it off.
To everyone.
Turn it off.
All right. Thanks for joining VGBees, episode 38. Bad Baby. Hope your cancer treatment goes well. Till next week, keep on buzzing. Bye.